Welcome to episode 9 of High Above Courtside. My name is Jason. That's Steven. Steven, what's going on?
No Tony today, but that's no problem. It's all good. We got you here. Jason and your boy coming through. Let's get into this road trip because this last month, 2 months, maybe not up to par of exactly like what we've been expecting from this team. So ho hum, 3-1, sky is falling. One absolutely a belt. I don't want to say a swear right at the beginning. So we dominated against the Warriors, 125-85. Clippers. That was a close one, guys. I was nail biting there towards the end. I didn't realize that Kevin Porter Jr., Derek Jones Jr., like all these guys are going to be lights out from the mid range. It was absolutely wild to see, and that just what happens to be against us this year. Steph said it after the Dubs game. Like they used to get everyone's best shot, and it's like a night in, night out grind of getting like everyone coming for the champ. And I didn't think that it would be that big of a deal because like these guys, like I want the dot on my head, I don't want the target on my back, I want to come at it. And like human nature just comes in, like we've already done everything we got to do to like get to where we have to go. We know the steps to this, and we don't want to burn ourselves out. And like Steph kind of said that after the game, but that Clippers one was a tough one. It gave me like Atlanta flashbacks. Like I didn't want to like that to happen again to us. So we won that one in OT, 117-113. The Lakers, we got drudged. These guys, this was 5-7. I'm gonna give you that excuse right away. 5 games, 7 nights, back to back, OT. Guys had nothing. Absolutely nothing. And like the last game, Springer came off the bench for us, gave us a great defensive battle. He shut down Kevin Porter Jr. He shut down anyone that was put in front of him. And that was a great lever for Joe to, pull there. But we had nothing for this Lakers game. And JJ Redick, hats off to him and the whole team. They had a great game plan against us. It was almost like playing the Heat. Like anytime we had that ball on the ground, like dribbling like near the paint or anything like that, they were attacking us. They were collapsing on us. It was a tough one. But what are you going to do? You just chalk that up as a, maybe not the best effort there, and guys are just tired. You come out 2 days later, Mavs 122-107, Celtics on top, and my man, he picked a great time to snap out of this funk because Derek White needed this one. You don't realize how much like Derek White is missed until you see Derek White doing Derek White things, the 50-50 balls, the long threes, the running the floors, and I'll get into that too a little bit, but it's just great to see him snap out of it. And he mentioned it in the post-game interview to, I know, Abby or whoever was asking the questions. That three in the corner in front of the benches, in front of the Celtics bench, it really gave him that to get over the hump there. But let's get into it a little bit. As I mentioned, that corner three, Derek made it around like, I think the score was 62-54 after that. And then Drew misses a three. Derek gets the offensive rebound. He starts doing D White stuff. That's what I'm talking about, like the 50-50 balls. He brings the ball back out from that offensive rebound, works his way into the lane, hits the patented floater. The floater's back. That's great to see because once he gets a little discouraged, you don't see him going to the hoop as much. And it's tough because he's not a grifter. He's not going to try to get these fouls or anything like that. He's just trying to put it up there. And once that's fallen, it's just like, green light from there. He was making the hustle plays, as I mentioned, and that instills the confidence into him. When he was running the break with Tatum, Derek was on the wing. He cut inside. Tatum fed him the ball. Derek gets fouled, heads to the line. That's like another thing. Derek getting free throws, going to the line. Good confidence booster for him. Then Derek had the ball. This is all in the third quarter, by the way. This is where he took over the whole game. He had the ball in the pick and roll with the Mavs. Miscommunication. He had a deep three with that one, making it 68-59. Then he has it going. He's running the floor on the Cornet steal, dusting the Mavs players down, get an easy dunk, making it 70-59. He also hit that step back three on Kleber, was just absolutely nasty, 77-61. This guy's in the groove now. It was so good to see everything he needed, dude. He had that corner three in front of the bench. The vision for Derek on this team is to be that. He needs to have that confidence. He needs to hit his threes. He needs to hit the 50-50 balls because he's kind of like the straw that stirs the drink here. Everyone has their own like job. And KP comes back and he's been lights out. but that's going to affect other players. And you know, you can't be like, oh, KP has to go to the bench because the starting unit has a negative net rating. Like, no, we have to work around this challenge for us. You guys now have a challenge to not just the team, but that your opponent is, but yourself, your team in general, to make this all work again. And how do we get it back in the flow of things? So hopefully this is like the launching pad for better games to come for him going into the All-Star break. This guy needs a rest. He has a was it a left shin injury or something?
Shin. It was like a shin contusion or something like that, versus
Yeah,
just a bruised shin. Nothing crazy.
he's hurt, obviously, and you could see it affecting him, during this spell. So we just need him to get healthy by the All-Star game and then get back into this groove, get everything going. That's what this team really needs. These dudes are tired. They play a lot of basketball. There's injuries everywhere. So we need a rest. That's what we need.
That's why it kind of sucked, right? Because like the Clippers game was definitely, or the Lakers game was the one on that road trip that everybody wanted to see. Tatum, Brown versus AD, LeBron, and to have it kind of go that way when they played a tough game against the Clippers, it was kind of like, dude, why do we have to have a back to back with like Clippers and Lakers? Why couldn't the Lakers game been first and then the Clippers? It was like, okay, we lose to the Clippers, a second game back to back. Like who cares, right? If we beat the Lakers first game, like whatever. But like, it just sucks to have like the Lakers on the second game of a back to back with like that much like at hand, or that much like to go for, because it's always the rivalry, Lakers Celtics. But overall, I mean, for me, I love the road trip in terms of how they played. Golden State blows. I'm just gonna say, I can't stand Golden State.
Facts.
Did Draymond didn't play, right? He didn't play that game. No, so it was like, we dominated Golden State, obviously Clippers, against, I'm looking at the thing right here against the Clippers. I was just looking at stats. Amir Coffey and Derek Jones Jr. each played 44 minutes. Amir Coffey had 24 points. Derek Jones Jr. had 29 points. Like, if that's not like fantasy numbers, then I don't know like what is. Like, that's crazy. Every shot Derek Jones was taking, he was making. It was just incredible. But and then obviously the Mavs game was such a nice game to watch. Them going up and pretty much handling their business. Did you see, by the way, the Maxi Kleber injury? Because he like broke his foot during that game, but I couldn't find, because I had to like rewatch some of that game back for work reasons, so I couldn't
broke his foot?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's out for 2 months with a broken
Not
foot.
to laugh at his injury, but like I didn't realize like that happened. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because I saw Shams tweet about like, because like Mavs are kind of going through like the injury bug sort of right now. Luka hasn't been on. They lost Lively to I believe a broken ankle or same broken foot, sort of like the same thing. He's gone. Then I saw Maxi Kleber got hurt, broken foot, so he's out for a couple months. So I was like, I didn't know if you saw the injury because I like couldn't find it. I like searched everywhere and I couldn't find.
No, they got the pelicanitis over there.
Dude, it sucks, honestly, because like honestly, when you look at the Celtics, right, we haven't had like that bad of like injury luck or like injury, like just like the bad, like the bug going around where like, oh, this guy's got like a sprain, broken ankle, broken nose, like you name it. I feel like 76ers go through it a lot. The Pelicans, Mavs to a degree, Lakers go through it to a degree. I feel like we've been kind of lucky when it comes to injury.
Yeah, I mean, go down the top. I mean, Porzingis missed 2 months or so. Al has that nagging big toe that they keep putting on. It's just hilarious. Just say he's old.
I know.
Drew has the shoulder problem, but he was out for a little bit, but he's back now and he's been playing a lot better too, shooting the ball better. And then the other guys kind of just like played through it. Jalen was out maybe like a couple games there, but I think you're right.
That's right.
We haven't had too much, but I mean, plus we have Iron Man Jason Tatum who shoulders it all. So it's easy to cover up a lot of deficiencies that we have, and I think that's kind of knock on wood. But my dog's gonna freak out. But yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate, and hopefully that continues going forward. You just need to be healthy right before the playoffs.
No, I thought you were gonna talk to your dog. I was like,
no.
But I mean, so going over this road trip, I mean, obviously, if you face the Lakers, you're definitely going to be, hopefully, in the playoffs. I think the playoffs are always better when LeBron and AD and the Lakers in the playoffs. Mavs definitely, Clippers probably not, or it depends if Kawhi decides to play a bunch of games. And the Warriors, I don't think will be in the playoffs. I haven't checked like the Western Conference records in terms of like where they stand, but coming out of that 3-1 versus teams that have a lot of like high power players and all stars, I think that's pretty good for the Celtics. But their schedule, the Celtics schedule going forward, it's like we had a bunch of like good games coming up, but then they face like tonight they got the Rockets, then
Mhm.
Bulls, Pelicans, 76ers. Like it sucks because you go from like a bunch of like great games to watch, then like then you're facing like the bottom of like the Eastern Conference, Western Conference.
But it
Uh
doesn't matter because these guys face us like so well. I mean, the Sixers beat us
yeah,
on Christmas Day. The Bulls
yeah,
somehow find a way to be like Zach LaVine was the best fucking player on the court last time we played him. It was crazy.
yeah.
Vucevic hits everything. So it doesn't really even matter how low they are in the rankings. You just got to
No, I
realize
know.
that they're going to come up for us every time.
Yeah. No, I know. It's those games are always good, but it just like I don't know. It's kind of like put the Celtics in the if you let me actually, I'll ask you this question. If you put the Celtics in the Western Conference, would you think they'd still be top 3?
1,000%. I think we're
That's what
still
I would
better
say.
than. So we'll go off the top. OKC, we
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have a better record than them. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Hmm.
Houston, we'd be better than them. Memphis,
Yep.
better than them. Denver, better. Lakers, Clippers, better than all these teams. So I think
Yeah.
we'd be, right where we are in the East. We'd be in the West. I mean, and it's not like the West is actually doing really good out of the last 10 games. OKC, 7 for 3. Houston, 8. Houston's on a tear right now, 8 for 2.
Yeah.
Memphis won 6 straight, 8-2. Denver just lost, but they're 8-2. Lakers 6-4. Clippers 6-4. So I mean, they're a little hot over there. And on the East, woo wee, Cavs coming down a little bit. Is that what's
A little
happening
bit.
here? They're
A
still
little bit.
dominating, but Celtics have not done this. Lost 3 straight. Cavs just did that. Lost 3.
Oh
At
yeah.
last 10, they're 5-5. So I mean, we're 6-4, not too much better, but we're better than them. Knicks kind of a little hot right now, but they were sliding. They've won 3 straight. They're 6-4. Milwaukee 8-2. Indy 8-2. Detroit 6-4. Detroit 6 seed. Watch out for those
Yeah.
guys. Cade Cunningham
They're
is
good.
legit. Love that guy. He turns ball over, but he has like a lot of assists too. So kind of assist ratio works out for him. But I mean, I just kind of want to get into like the overall aspect right now of like what the Celtics are because a lot of discourse out there on Twitter, X, anything you want. Just turn the TV on. There's discourse. But
Yeah.
what I'm kind of surprised about is like the actual basketball dudes, the Brian Windhorses, the Zach Lowe's, besides Bill Simmons because he's neurotic a little bit. But they're all saying like it's a little midseason malaise, nothing to worry about. These guys need to get to the All-Star break, and it just really matters after the All-Star break where you start. So let's just go. Celtics current record as we stand 32-14, which is 3 games behind where they were this time last year. Not too bad. In the last 2 road trips in this West Gauntlet, the Celtics came back 3-1 from each of those trips. Celtics currently have the best record on the road, 17-6. Guys are road warriors, so that's why I really don't care about seeding. They've showed it in the past. They'll go into anyone's building. Giannis, Embiid, whoever, Luka. It don't matter who they're coming for you. So I'm not too worried about that. They have the best road record. And speaking of top seeds, Celtics are 4.5 games back from the Cavs, who I just mentioned lost 3-3. They're 5-5 in the last 10. But we faced them twice in February, the beginning of February and the end of February. So in reality, it's only 2.5 games because we can't control those 2.5 games. We can control the 2 games we're going against them. Say we win those 2, we may have a shot at the 1 seed again. Now, it's not necessarily depends on how the Cavs play, and I don't necessarily think the guys need to have the 1 seed. But let's not act like this is like some crazy juggernaut team. Like we just saw how they operate. Like if they're not hitting 40% of their threes, it's a more easy team to beat the Cavs. So
Yeah.
I'm not too worried. I give them their respect. I think Mobley's been playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of physicality, using his length, being just more deliberate on how he plays. And Mitchell's taking a step back and kind of letting everything flourish. Garland's playing unreal. Dude, their role players are hitting everything. It's crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out these 2 matchups against the Cavs.
I mean, I think the one thing about the Cavs that kind of scare you is they can sort of match up lengthwise, right? I mean, Mobley and Allen. are kind of, you've mentioned it before, like the Twin Towers, their like defense. It's kind of hard to like being able to drive in the paint when you got them and they're about 7 footers, so they're gonna take up a lot of space. And then if Mitchell and Garland are going, I mean, you have to match that. And obviously, every team has their swing, and that's another thing too, by the way, because my thoughts tend to go all over the place. Everybody's going crazy about the Celtics losing games. Cavs have lost games, and I've seen nothing in terms of like, oh, the Cavs are slipping, you better watch out. But the Celtics, first thing the Celtics do it, and it's like, oh my God, the sky's falling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, just take it like the Celtics will be there in the end. They'll be in the Eastern Conference Finals versus whoever, and it will be a battle. But when it comes to the Cavs, I expect them to be there. They're pretty deep on their bench. They got Georges Niang, Sam Merrill,
At
Ty
Jerome,
Jerome. Dude, that
that
dude is
guy.
I
He
think he
had
put up
30
like
the other night.
33. Yeah, I was like, and you know what's crazy is if you look at his minutes, some nights he plays like 2 or 5 minutes, and other nights he's playing like 31 minutes. Like I don't really
Yeah.
understand how you're able to like differentiate how much that guy plays, but it feels like sometimes he's getting very like underutilized over there in Cleveland for like what he does. And they got Max Struess back in the starting lineup because Dean Wade blows, that guy that went off against us last year and just scored everything. Every time I look at the Cavs stat line, like he plays like 27 minutes, he has like 0 points or like 3 points. Like eventually, you got to get that guy out of there. So
Yeah.
Struess is now in his spot, putting up decent numbers like he does. But yeah, I mean, if we're gonna go over teams that like I'm worried about, or like you got to be like mindful if you're a Celtics fans, it's definitely Cavs, Knicks in my mind. I don't see Milwaukee as a true threat, and then Miami Heat, they're blown up internally, so like you're never gonna have to worry about them
Let's talk
uh
about the Heat.
right now. Yeah, we can. I mean, obviously, so right before we started recording, Shams broke some pretty big news saying that the team is going to suspend Jimmy Butler indefinitely because he walked out of a team shoot around because they informed him that he's going to be benched for Haywood Highsmith and he would not start. So obviously, Butler being Butler, he's not going to go for that, and he walked out. So he's gone. I honestly, if he played another game for the Heat, I'd be so surprised
Same.
because he wants out. Like, just get, at some point you have all the trade offers for him. You got to just pick the best one. You got to just, pour salt, and just get him out. You can't keep him around the team. He's not good for the vibes. If you want to even turn your season around or like have it go in a different direction, you just got to move him and just cut your losses, right? I just, you can't keep playing the game of, oh, we'll suspend him 2 games, 7 games, we'll bring him back, start him, then bench him, and then like just get rid of him. Just like cut your losses. Send them to Phoenix, LA, Memphis, Milwaukee, wherever you want to send them, and just move forward.
Agreed. I mean, the Jimmy Butler era, it was impressive for the team that they
Yeah.
had, but that fluke last run that they had kind of was fool's gold for them, and now it's over. It's
Yeah.
buried. There's nothing left here for them. You got to cut your losses, like you said. I don't know. I don't know how his antics are good for this trade value. If you're
Yeah.
trying to get somewhere where you want to go, I just don't see how this is the approach to go about it. Maybe I'm just, a conformist and I just kind of want to go with it just so I could get where I want to go. But, Jimmy's gonna do Jimmy and we'll see how it plays out for him. I look forward to seeing where he goes. I hope it's nowhere that can hurt us. How about that? That's all I care about.
So Milwaukee, basically.
I don't even. Like, I don't. I'm not even that worried about Milwaukee. It's like, who is it? They got to get rid of Middleton and some
Middleton,
other
yeah.
pieces, right? Or is it
Maybe
one for
like a
one?
Portis. Well, I mean, maybe it could be a 1-for-1. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how the money works and all that. Middleton's
Yeah.
name's been floating out there to go to Miami, but like you have the two bigs in Portis and Lopez that I think are making almost their combined salary up to like 80, 90 million combined.
Wow.
So like, because they re-signed Lopez right this past offseason,
Yeah.
right? And Portis or both of them. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, both their salaries, I believe, come close to like 80 million. So maybe you try to attach one of them to go with Middleton. But, I think the team that, in my mind, I mean, I've told you this, I think 3 times before, it's Phoenix, just because they made that trade with Utah to give up first round picks, to get 3 back, to trade their unprotected or protected first round pick in 2031. So Phoenix has ammo now to attach to Beal, but I think Beal would have to like say, okay, yeah, I want to go and waive his no trade, which Willie, I don't know, but
Is he still
like so
coming
be
off the bench?
yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah. And you see the story about Nurkic, who like didn't hasn't talked to Budenholzer in like 2 months. He like hasn't spoken to his head coach. Right? He hasn't talked to him in like 2 months. And that dude's coming off the bench too, because they took him out of the starting lineup for it was Plumlee, but now it's Nick Richards that they acquired from the Hornets.
Nick Richards has been playing good too, though, right?
Mm.
They're an 8 seed. They could shoot up. It's so bunched up over there in the West. But I I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I was Bradley Beal. I don't want to be on the bench, even though the team's doing well. At last 10, they're 7-3. They're 23-21. I mean, just over 500. But Miami sounds cool if you're Beal. I mean, you're not really. Are you really a championship contender over there in the West
No.
on Phoenix? I don't think so. So
Uh I don't I mean, so I'm assuming it would be Booker and Jimmy in the backcourt. They take out
Mhm.
Ryan Dunn, who's in their starting lineup, put him on the bench. And then it'd be Richards and then KD, right? No, it's four. You need a fifth. Who else is on their starting lineup?
I don't fucking know because
Who else is on their starting lineup? It's
O'Neal
Richards.
over there.
Yeah, he is. He's coming off the bench though. I'd have to check. I'd have to check real quick. Um, because it's
Booker,
not
Durant,
revealed.
Plumlee,
Oh,
Jones,
Tyus Jones.
Allen,
Tyus
Tyus
Jones. It's
Jones.
Tyus Jones. He's in the backcourt with Booker. So maybe Dunn does stay in the lineup and
Yeah, he probably
it's
does.
Butler. I mean, either way, when you have a big three of Butler, KD, and Booker, you should be able to do some things. I'd
Well,
assume.
they still have Bobo. Then Bobo needs a shot. I think he has the intangibles.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he reminds me of a Bogdanovich with the Houston. Is that
Oh,
that the right name? Boban,
oh,
right?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
talking
That
about? Like
NASA
the
dude.
seven
Yeah,
footer, yeah, who just
he's the
he's
State
kind
Farm
of like a
commercials.
stiff. Yeah, he's kind of like a
He's kind
stiff.
of
Can only
like a.
really he can't do much offensively, but he can stand under there and grab boards, pull them down, and pass it out. Like
Dude,
that's.
watch Bobo highlights, man. He's got the handle. He's got the three
You think
ball. He just
so?
needs a shot. He just needs a shot. Not enough.
Charlie, you know who's shooting the three ball like crazy? And this is just going off topic. Is Mo Bamba. I saw the other night he went like 3 from behind the arc. I know that guy had a 3-point shot.
That's a
He
team
played
I'm a little worried about in the East, to be honest.
what?
If you want to talk about length, they got the length to stop us. But I don't know what it is, man. Tatum loves playing other Duke players because he loves going off on them. He takes it personally, and they can't score. That's the biggest problem with them.
Yeah.
They could shut you down. They just can't put the ball in the basket. And that's probably one of the most important things, orange ball in the hoop.
Wait, what team? What team is that?
Magic.
Oh, well, I mean the Magic are good, but like we've said it before, like they need somebody else. And that GM, like you said before, hates trading. Dude, that dude is
Yeah.
a reject trade. I'm never picking up the phone at trade deadline. We're never doing this.
Yeah, they
Um,
just
I will say though,
right.
their move to get Caldwell Pope, I'm not really a huge fan. That dude doesn't really put up crazy numbers.
Dude,
He's kind of not.
last game they played against Detroit, they won 121-113. They have Franz back. He put up 32. Then Paolo put up 32. Caldwell Pope,
Yeah,
seven. Seven. He went 2 for
dude.
7 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. Not
Yeah,
looking too good. And everyone was like killing the Nuggets over that. Like, you got to re-sign him. You didn't sign
yeah,
Bruce
yeah,
Brown
yeah,
before. They're doing pretty fine over there, to be honest. I mean, the Nuggets are dominating. Out of the last 10, they're 8-2. So
yeah.
I mean, they're doing just fine. Where are they in the standings in general? They're the 4th seed. Yo, that's another thing. If Jokic and Denver don't go below the 4th seed, he's gonna win MVP again. Like, I don't care what
Yeah,
SJ is doing. He is putting up
yeah,
crazy numbers, dude. He's going
yeah.
nuts.
I know. Yeah, I know. And it's crazy too, because like Russ is also in that starting lineup too. And normally he takes a lot of like the assists away, but he's still
Mhm.
getting his 10+ assists a game. So it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to see that team. But that team was talking about adding like a Levine to that, like, because Gordon now is off the bench. Um, so like I don't know. I mean, could they pull off a trade like that? Send Gordon out, bring in Levine if he's kind of lost his way there in Denver. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I, that's a great pairing. I mean, put him on there. Jokic is 29.9 points a game. That's third. He's 13.1 rebounds a game. Third. He's 10.1 assists a game. Second. This dude's phenomenal. He's shooting,
yeah,
was it 47.9% from three on 4.3
yeah,
attempts. He's 81
yeah,
from the free throw line. He's just 56 from the field. He's impressive, dude. I know SGA is dominating. He's got the most 30-point games in the league, best record, but like you can't deny what this guy's doing. And I don't know, maybe I'm an SGA hater, but it's kind of hard to look at those numbers and see the development of this team, how Westbrook has gotten better. All these young guys are getting better. I mean,
yeah.
he's a real engine.
So I want to before we wrap it up, I want to go back. I want to touch on the Celtics free agency, not free agency, trade deadline, and we mentioned names before who they can add, but from ex Cameron Table to I can't even say that
Yeah,
last
he's a
name. Is that
Celtics beat writer. I know him.
Tabastali?
Yeah, you
Um,
said Cam.
so, so according to Cam, uh, the guards that we could get: Delano Bayton, Daquan Jeffries, Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is a walking bucket. Maybe I don't know what his numbers are now, but I know before he was absolutely insane. Wings, Javante Green, we've said before. Torrey Craig, who's buried on the Bulls bench. Taylor Horton Tucker, I believe, also buried on the Bulls bench. And then Svi Mihailik, we had him last year, went over signed, I think, a 3-year, $16 million deal with the Jazz. Dude's a 3-point specialist for them, starting lineup. He puts up like 11, 12 points a game. And then Biggs, Kevin Love, Day'Ron Sharp, Dupe Reith. Dupe Reith, backup big for the Trailblazers. Day'Ron Sharp buried on the Nets bench, and Kevin Love buried in Miami. So, new names, because I know I threw out some last week, but those are new names that we could acquire if we so desire.
I
How do you
think
feel about those?
Cam Thomas is the one. I mean, you can teach. Paul Pierce was not a defensive guy in his career, and
Yeah.
now he's well known for sitting down on defense in the big three era. I mean, you need scoring. That's our biggest problem off the bench. Pritchard's been great, but he's inconsistent lately, and he's been doing great things too. He's got 9 rebounds last game. The game before that, 9 assists. He's contributing. He's great, but I mean, it's hard to get it from the other guys, and that's really what it comes down to. That's why we're all obsessed about Lonnie Walker. Like, oh, we should bring Lonnie
Yeah.
Walker back because that guy's a legit bucket. So I think Cam Thomas is, if you want that, and he's not that small either, right? How tall is Cam Thomas, by the way? Because that's the biggest thing, right? He's on Brooklyn. Let's see. People want to like pick on that during the playoffs. Is Cam Thomas even?
So, just sidebar. So, Jimmy Butler just posted something on Instagram.
No.
Kevin, what was that? Lose you? Oh boy, we're having some technical difficulties. This does happen in the podcasting world. We have
Okay.
technical. Are you here?
Yeah. I'm fine. I can hear you
There you
still.
go. Okay. All right. Your screen was frozen. I couldn't hear you, but keep going.
No. I mean, Kevin Love's been funny during this whole thing. It's just that's why like kind of the vibes may be off in Miami, but Kevin Love's keeping it light.
he's kind of making a joke out of it. But you see what he
He is.
posted?
No,
What
hit me
Jimmy
with it.
posted? Well, it's a video of him. He added Kevin Love, and it's kissing the girl's fingers as he's leaving. It's the
Oh.
I don't know if I can show it for copyright reasons, but
Yeah.
it's him kissing all the girls' hand before he walks out the door, and it's a scene from some show. I definitely wasn't around or born to see this show, or I was way too young to know what it was.
Oh yeah, he's
Um,
going by each one, being like,
yeah.
I just seen that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he's gone. I'd assume he's definitely out of there.
Was it
His
the
trade.
Martin show? Well,
Man,
Lawrence,
I don't know.
Montrezl,
I don't think I'm too young, or I just don't know. But that might be past my time or before my time. Past my
he's
time.
gone. He ain't coming back. That's it.
No, he's gone. 100%. No way. But
I mean, is what it
I
is,
think
man. That's one less against us.
no, I know, right? One less team to worry about in terms of
That's what happens when you have devil magic. When you're messing around with devil magic, it's gonna come to bite you eventually. Pat Riley
yeah.
admitted he's washed. Jimmy don't want to be part of there. Kevin Love's making it all big
Well,
fuss.
here's the thing too, is I blame Pat Riley. Jimmy went to Pat Riley and was like, I need somebody else to play with. And that dude was like, all right, you want somebody to play with? We'll give you Kevin Love, or we'll give you Terry Rozier at the trade deadline last year. Like, here you go. That's your running mate. Like, I don't know. He just didn't give him what he wanted. So now he's gonna be like, all right, I'm out of here. And they're not gonna
Tyler
pay him
Hero,
either. So
no, Tyler Hero's been playing great too. It's like his best career season. So
yeah.
I
I
don't know.
just there's probably stuff we don't even know about what's going on behind those walls. But
I can't wait. Can't wait to find out.
it will leak. Trust me, Shams is all over that. Shams is on that like a rat on cheese, right? He's on that. But I think that will do it for us. Obviously today the episode a little lighter. We're missing Tony, but we want to just hit on the road trip and kind of some stuff going around the league. But that will do it for us. You can follow us at HA Courtside. We will see you guys in the next one, and we should have another one coming out later this week with Tony to do a more
Stay
in-depth
tuned. Hit that
reaction.
like button, subscribe, all that jazz.
So we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.